Hello? Okay. Okay. Hi. So, I have no clue what this is. I don't even know if this is going to record, and that's going to be really upsetting if it doesn't record. But I finally understand the government now. And I also understand why people hate the government now. I figured it out. Before, I had no fucking clue. I was oblivious as to what everybody, government this, government that. Like, I don't understand, but now I do. Oh my god, hang on. So first of all, the government's just a regular group of people. They're literally just a group of guys. That's what they are, a group of guys in a class system a little bit higher than everyone else. And that's just who they are. They're in our little world. That's who they are. And so basically, a lot of us are given these little cards, and that brings us into the government group. We are now a part of them because we have this. We're in their system. They know us. They can find us. They know who we are by getting these cards. These little cards. Now most people get them. Why do they get them? Because this makes you allowed to drive on all of the roads that the government owns. You don't need this to own a car, but you need this to drive on the pavement outside your house. If you don't have one of these, but you have a car, you're not allowed to drive on the government roads because the government and you had an agreement. They were like, hey, you need one of these to drive on our roads. These are our roads and you need one of these to drive on it or else. And then you're like, oh, okay. And you try to drive on the road with one of these, but somebody looks at you funny and like, cop, one of us, one of the government people who are looking out for the others, like kind of finding like I don't know, they're just around, pulls them over, like, you know why I stopped you here today? Like, I don't know why. And then they're like, blah, blah, blah. Can I see your license and registration, please? They want to know if that's your car, if you're driving your car. Just not even as a government thing for that. They're just like, hey, if this is somebody else's car, you should probably give them their car back. Like, that's not that. We want to know why you're driving someone else's car. Let's see that it's your car, and let's see that you, like, we have already made the agreement that you can drive on our roads. And so they check, and if you have one of these, they have to see if, like, the agreement, I don't know, a whole bunch of rules and everything, if the agreement's just still all tight together. But if you don't have one of these, they're like, hey, what the fuck, man? We had an agreement. Why are you breaking this agreement? Why don't you have one of these? You're on my road, but you don't have my card. And so it's like a you're like, so what do our government people do? They just take you. They pick you up and force you to be one of ours. So, like, imagine it as two tribes, and one of these tribes were just like, I'm gonna go into town, but the tribe owner is like, hey, no, you ain't gonna come over here, but you're over here, so we're just gonna take you and put you in jail. and then you're in the system. You like have to be in the system. Then that goes on you, on you, that you broke a rule and everybody knows. And so if you break another rule, you're in big trouble. Like, and now I see why some people hate them, because some people just are the other tribe out of the two tribes of government versus other. And it's crazy to think about, because I'm so right. Like, not only does the government have that little rule in place, they're just like, yeah, don't drive on our roads. Also, there are certain things we own, but you can't own. But you can sell, but you can't own. Things like that. Like, you go to a corner store, the corner store owns everything, but the nicotine and the alcohol, because the government said, hey, that's mine, but you can sell it, but that's mine. So I can say which one of my people can have them. But if you're not my people, you can't. So if you don't have one of these, that proves that you're the right age for the thing, because the government says no, younger people can't have it. But this age, you gotta have one of these to show me that you're this age. You can't have anything else, because I can't know, because you're under my government system, and like all this, that. But if you don't have one of these, you just can't, you can't buy my stuff because you're not in my system. And, like, that's crazy. Because what if the other tribe just is like, I want some covered, but you're not a part of this. And that other tribe are the like, people who hate the government. Because if you're them, you have to hate the government, because there's too much of it. So but you can both be this and the tribe, because sometimes you just can't live without being this. And if you have lived without being this, then you are the other tribe, because I understand why people hate the government, and it's crazy. Like, you get what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm looking at me, but my camera's down there. No, bitches. That was not funny at all. Not funny at all. Really, really not funny. But you get what I'm saying? And then you look at this, and you see that it's littered with different little, like, pods of government, like different friend groups of that tribe. It's littered with it. Virginia, federal limits apply. The federal got their hand, like, are a part of this too. VAUSA, a whole different little subpart. Customer identifier. I have a number in their system. And then they have my little statistics, my little characteristics. My sex, M, eyes, blue, it says brown. My height, my date of birth, and the date that this was given to me. Other things, if I've ever been in trouble before. My signature. Organ donor. And I think it's funny that they put that on a license. Because you know why? If you're in a situation and you see someone, like maybe you're a part of the government, and you see someone dying, and you're like, oh gosh, let me help you. You want to make sure, you want to look at who they are, and you want to make sure if you want to keep those organs safe. If you want to resuscitate them, if it says organ donor, it's in your best interest to make sure you don't hurt their organs when you're trying to resuscitate them, because they're a part of this group and they should give those parts of their bodies when they're dead. Like, that's the reason why it's on here. Because if you're dying and somebody looks at this, they're able to quickly see, oh, can you crush all the ribs and puncture the heart and everything? Or, hey, maybe let's just, like, that's so crazy. Has a photo of me just in case. I don't know. I feel like that's just for fun. Honestly, they put the photo on there for fun. The photo makes it personal. Makes it look like we're not just numbers in a system, but we are just numbers in a system. And the photo is just so we don't say something about it. I don't know. It also has a stupid little, like, to make sure, is this real? Because you can't really print this without a special printer thingy that they have. And they have this special printer thingy, and they have, no, you can't have this special printer thingy. It's mine. So you can't even make one of these if you wanted to forge it. Because, like, they make it impossible to. So a little barcode so they can scan me. So if, like, they have this and they have, like, a quick database reader, they can just doop my signature in case they see any papers and they see that on it and they're like, oh, this person signed it. It's weird that we're supposed to have signatures, because really signatures are also a government thing, because it's connected to you. So then they're like, sign this. It's like, yeah, they make you have signatures. Most people aren't gonna have signatures. Unless you're signing government paperwork. Government paperwork is the only thing you sign with signatures. Or you have to sign with signatures. I mean, like, you can have fun signings with signatures, like contracts and stuff. When you can be two normal people of a tribe, like exchanging something and using your signature, but that it's not really necessary because that doesn't really need to be in their database. It's just to hold you accountable. But they just use that for fun. But it was the government who, like, every one of the government, they have to have your signature because that's in the database. And it's an easy identifier. But if you, like, switch it up, they're like, what the heck? Is it a crime to switch it up? It might be. Is it a crime to switch up your signature? Also where you live, so they can come to your home. They can pull up, like, hey, you live here? Can I speak to you? Because you in trouble. Like, what the heck? We sign this big rule book when we're born. Unless we're born outside of a hospital. Or what? If every single person that was born in a hospital is in this, and if you weren't born in a hospital, then you were in it later when you got one of these permits to let you drive for the first time, or when you got your license, anything. That's the first time. Like, you sign everything by signing one of them. Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. I'm losing my shit over that. Wow. And most neighborhoods are a part of the government. They make sure to keep track of every person that has lived in a house. If they own the house, like, if they probably own the road first, And then they were like, hey guys, make a road off of that one, and then we're gonna own that land and put houses for it, and we're gonna sell the houses to people. And then people come and buy the house, and then the government's like, okay, you bought the house from us, and now it's yours. And then it's like, okay, cool. So they have the house. And then they have the choice to either just give it to somebody else, or they can be like, so hey, this is still mine, but you can give me some money when I would be giving them money. Like, it's just, you can have this, but it's mine. Just know it's mine. Okay? And then it's like, all right, cool. We have an agreement. And if they break that agreement, then they're like, hey, what the heck? And that's a little dispute, but that has nothing to do with the government. It's not theirs. But that's a little, like, everybody owns. Like, for me, I don't own this house. This is the government's house. Or this is either the government's house or somebody else's house who is connected to the government. So I'm still in the system of people who have been in this house somewhere. Somewhere the government can find that I'm in the system in this house. Like, I get it. I get it. To be honest, I don't really care because I just know that's the way that things are always going to be. But I get why people are upset about that. I do. It's weird. Like, maybe I don't want to be a part of the government. Like, maybe I just want to be on my own, but you can't be on your own. Like, that's just, us as animals aren't allowed to leave that group. Because we want to live. But they own the living. Literally, the government owns living. What the fuck? That's not okay. Why doesn't anybody... I know why people do say things. What the hell? Okay. Enough of this.